gorgeous? Does that funk have you feeling stuck? Have you questioning your purpose, or even yet having you asking if your best years are behind you? Girl, you have zero obligation to stay in that funk. This podcast is for women who want to get the funk out of here, who want to play bigger, ask for more, and step out of mediocrity. Imagine a life filled with lots of energy, excitement, and filled with spunk instead of that funk. This is the Unfunk Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Crystal. Let's go! Hey girlfriends, let me in. If you don't, I will huff and puff and blow your house in. Remember this story? 2 of the little pigs had built houses that could not withstand the huff and puff of the wolf, so they ran to their brother's house, whose house was made of brick. The big bad wolf could not blow that house in. The hero of this story is the pig who built his house of bricks. The other 2 pigs, humiliated every time someone reads this story. How could they be so dumb to build houses that could not withstand the elements or the huff and puff of the big bad wolf? Have you ever thought about how embarrassed those 2 little pigs are to this day? No, you haven't. They tried something, it didn't work, and they were safe. End of story. All turned out okay, right? But what if they, the 2 pigs, had an Instagram account today? Wouldn't all the pictures show their new houses? You know, the one they built that was much stronger than their original one? Those 2 pigs have a great story. They learned from their mistakes, and now they live in this much sturdier and solid house, and the big bad wolf doesn't even come around anymore. It got tired of trying to blow their house down. Isn't that what their Instagram would show? Surely they wouldn't build any more houses of straw and sticks after that initial catastrophe. It took the wolf blowing their house down to make them realize their initial game plan wasn't going to work for the entire game. They had to run to the house made of brick to determine that was the winning game plan. Why wait until the wolf comes to blow your house down before you decide to change your game plan, girl? If you are not in the place you want to be, if your results are not where you want them, if you're stuck, then it requires you to change your damn game plan. Don't wait until you let go or you're let go from your job before you decide to work on your dream to build an online bookstore. Or don't wait until the doctor tells you that you have diabetes to change your diet. What if your kid was a quarterback and he kept getting sacked and the coach wasn't changing any game plan? Wouldn't you be concerned or even upset? Even if that wasn't your kid, you would be so upset that that coach was watching that same game you were and not changing up anything. All those sacks could impact his confidence, could impact his level of play, and serious enough, could impact his future. The same is true for you. If you don't change your game plan to move closer toward your aspirations, then it too will impact your confidence, impact the way you show up for your life, and also impact your future. This weekend, I saw this reality surf show, and it's produced by Reese Witherspoon. It follows these girls from Hawaii around that are amazing surfing talents, and it follows them to their competitions. I had never realized this before, but their competitions are completely dependent on the wave. In one of the comps, there was a girl that was stronger than the rest of the competitors. However, she was waiting for the super wave to do her big moves to raise her score and win the competition. But guess what? That wave never came. Meanwhile, the other competitors, they took advantage of the smaller waves and ended up moving on to the next heat. She was actually eliminated, and she was the better talent. She never changed her game plan. She was waiting on that perfect moment to capitalize, but that perfect moment never came. Are you waiting for the perfect moment to change up your current game plan? Like waiting for when the kids are gone to start cooking healthier, waiting until you're promoted to share your amazing ideas, waiting until you're a perfect meditator until you book that retreat, or waiting until that woman is paying attention to you before you invite her out for a drink or a cup of coffee. If you want to move closer to your aspirations and you feel like you're currently moving farther away, you have to change the game plan. And don't say it's too late, girl. What if this is just your halftime? Now, I'm all about standing in the superhero pose when you accomplish a goal or just to simply remind yourself that you are extraordinary. But there are times when you take the superhero role too far, girl. You actually don't know when to take off your cape. You believe that without you, everything would come crashing down or that nothing would get done. You spend so much of your time carrying the load, bearing the burdens, taking on the responsibilities, and you never take off the cape. But even Superman takes off his cape. There are times you have to take off your cape and allow other superheroes to come in and do their job. How dare you try and take their jobs from them? It's time to realize that you're not qualified for every single job you are trying to do in your household. Drop the cape and delegate. I promise those other superheroes can come in and can complete the job. They may surprise you and do it better than you even. I think back to when I used to lead 20 plus people, and I can even tell you how many times when I delegated a task to another person and the person I delegated it to did it like 100 times better than me. So I'll say it again. Change your game plan. Drop the cape and delegate. Now, how many times have you taken action towards your aspiration zone only to have someone else come in and stop you right in your tracks? You keep trying, but everyone else keeps causing you to stumble. Girl, change this game plan ASAP. Change your accountability game plan. You believe that everyone else is the cause for you not taking steps towards your aspiration zone. How is that working for you? Continue to think everyone else is your obstacle, and you might as well give up because there are more than 7 billion people in the world. Change your game plan, girl, and take accountability. Hold yourself accountable for taking action towards your aspiration zone. It might not go as fast as you planned. It might not look the way you planned. It might require different resources, but that is on you. You have to be willing to commit to your aspiration zone. In American football, they don't blame the defense for trying to tackle them and just give up trying to get in the end zone. They know it's part of the game. They know they have to adjust their game plan and punch it in the end zone despite people trying to tackle them at the same time if they're going to win. Every game has an opponent. Life has opponents. You're going to have to be flexible and adaptable to change your game plan and lose the blaming of everybody else. Accountability is sexy, and it's time to include it in your game plan. Do you remember watching Seinfeld and cracking up at George Costanza because he's always overthinking and second-guessing himself, thus causing him to struggle taking any action? You know why it was so darn funny? Because you can relate. We laugh sometimes because those scenarios, they ring so true. There are many times where you overthink an idea. You dissect every component of that idea until it's virtually unrecognizable. You sit and stew almost like you're paralyzed. You are not in action. And there are many reasons you become paralyzed from taking action. Overthinking, overanalyzing, you're waiting for permission, you're wanting your action to be perfect. You don't start because you aren't sure if you're going to be the pig with the brick house or the pigs with the house that can be blown down. You stay paralyzed and thus need to change your game plan. Trust yourself. The game plan needs to include confidence and trust in yourself, that you know what is best for you, that you know the best action to take. Trust that your next step will advance you forward towards your aspiration zone or help you fail forward. Because when you fail, you learn, and that's moving your needle forward. Adjusting your game plan will expand your horizon and give your aspirations space to flourish. Your game plan adjustment may require you to stretch beyond your boundaries, push beyond your limiting beliefs. Just like those surfers, your game plan might require a little more spontaneity, may require you to just jump on the next wave, or may require you to create an action avalanche where you take a bunch of small steps and trigger a cascade of progress. Michael Masterson wrote in the book Ready, Fire, Aim, and it's about business, but it still applies here. He said, the key to being successful is having a good general idea of what you want to do, but being flexible enough to change plans quickly as you discover the invisible secrets of the market you've jumped into. So girl, if you aren't showing up for your life the way you want to show up, then your game plan needs to change. Your mindset has to shift. You might need to move from a zone defense to a man-to-man defense or woman-to-woman defense. You may just need to take more shots, or you might be using the wrong bat or just swinging the club wrong. Whatever the case, it requires flexibility to change. Change your mind, to change your attitude, to change your energy, to change your action, to change your results. I'll say it one more time. Change your mind, to change your attitude, to change your energy, to change your action, and to change your results. Okay, girl, it's time to change the game plan. Let's go. This episode, along with all the episodes of Unfunk Your Mind podcast, are meant for educational and inspirational, motivational purposes only. They are not meant to substitute for any professional services or professional help. Before you go, Superwoman, I'd love it if you took a little action for me. Like, subscribe to my podcast and leave a review. Also, share the episode with a friend. And as a thank you, hit up my website to crystalsumner.com, thecrystalsumner.com, to grab free journal prompts. Okay, ladies, now is the time to go on Funk Your Mind, play bigger, and ask for more. Open the door to possibility and cancel playing small. So get up,